Hey all, and welcome to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio, another mega mini edition, midweek true crime edition, always fluid title that we have going on here.
Right. We're always in workshop mode. We're always workshopping.
I'm Jeff, our more noob when it comes to all the Bravo verse that we're getting into, but of course, learning very quick and ready to discuss as always. And with me is my friend Sunday, who has all the expertise and a little biz, probably.
But yes, I'm Sunday, the pop culture professor. More or less expertise is where I'm leaning forward to. It's like mostly on the self-proclaimed expertise. But because we are going to kind of like get into some of the stuff that we're already doing, I'm going to skip the biz because I think the biz is going to be embedded in. But I do have a quick little check-in for you. So now that because you are more versed in the Bravo, how are you versed in the true crime of it all? Are you a true crime connoisseur?
I'm in it a little bit. It's not something I like super devote my time to, but if a neat looking story, if it sounds cool, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's also probably one of those things as I keep talking, it'll be like, well, and I watched this and I listened to that and I read that. So it does intrigue me. I'm not like a diehard. I don't subscribe to a bunch of true crime podcasts or anything like that.
Nolan and I watch a lot of documentaries. Like we watch a ton, and it doesn't even have to be too serious. Like right now we're trying to get the Bonnie Blue documentary, but they don't have it in America. Do you know who Bonnie Blue is? Listeners, close your ears if you're going to get triggered.
Yeah, it's out there. It's on Australian television. You didn't watch this 6 months ago?
I cannot. My VPN is really blocking me for that very specific channel, and you have to have an app. Like it is. Like don't think we don't try. We tried yesterday when she was here. Like
you had to get in. You had to get into the begining.
Yeah,
you had to really, which is also what you had to do with Bonnie Blue was around. You should have gotten in at the beginning.
Well, she hung in there though too. But there's another woman who did 100 men in a day.
Okay, this is gone.
Yeah, so we watched that one instead because we could get our hands on that one. That was on YouTube. That is not my recommendation though. We'll get to mine later. I am not recommending that today.
Yeah, which also isn't true crime, but
it depends on
against humanity.
Yeah,
which made that phrase may come up again today.
Against feminism, sure.
Yeah. I think we're going to start with a little show roundup, stuff we're covering this week. You and I, of course, are really getting in the thick of it on Top Chef because there are now only 4 chefs remaining. It is our final 4. Do you have your final 4 with you and ready to get into it? Or do you want to rehash some of our fireworks we had this week in the woods?
The fireworks were low-key. The Seeger of it all, like, he was just being bratty. Like, if he had taken his coat off and thrown it down and stomped out of there, because he even said, I'm very sorry for exploding. And I was like, sir, nobody called you a slam pig, so I don't think that you are exploding. It was very mild. But he was sassy and not a great way to leave. And how dare he be in the top 5? That's freaking whatever. It's shameful that he was in the top 5.
Yeah, and I think it's bad on. I think Sassy really takes a hit there. You know, like I'm going to be protective of Sassy because I think he was just kind of, indignant, shitty, something like that. More, he's been sassy before. Like that's what the spoon was there for. Sassing with Gail a little bit a couple weeks ago. This was more just like I'm going to make this all about me and like low-key call out some of my other competitors while I'm in this spot, which is very interesting.
I will say that I have never seen a contestant ask them to pull the rules so he can peruse the guidelines and protocols. That is a reality TV first for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really something. And I don't even know, I'm not totally sure I'm totally on board with them airing it. Because, like, I don't care. Like, it makes me more like, I want to see a whole show about that day. Now that they showed me that little bit, I'm like, where's this hour long? I want to see no cuts at all. I want to see all this. Like, I want to see more of Judge's Table. Like, instead of doing Last Chance Kitchen, we're just going to show you 30 minutes unedited footage of these 5 people hollering at each other in the woods.
I think that it also sort of brings up some interesting questions about, did we know that there was an established, like, Top Chef Bible? Do the judges consult this before every single challenge? And do they have to rewrite it every single solitary episode because every challenge is different? Like, I mean, it just kind of, I don't know, pulls the curtain back a little bit. You're seeing a little inside baseball there.
This has come up before. The exact rules have come up before. Like season 8, there was a big one. Kristen's season, there was one, her first one.
What was hers?
And 13.
No, what was the rules beef?
Well, she addressed it a little bit, I think, saying that like she got close to asking about the rules because going back to the 8 one, at least I know, and it came up on Top Chef Masters as well. People are really wanting to know what they were looking for. So they show it at the end of the show, actually. Like, you know how they have disclaimers at the bottom of screens about all kinds of stuff? They show like how the judges are supposed to kind of decipher this and what it can be up to and all those things. So he, who's been saying he was trying to get on the show for 10 years, has obviously probably at least seen the show at least 10 years, which is, 150 plus episodes. So, I mean, he does know all these rules. He was really just low-key calling out his other competitors, like I said, and just thinking that he had more of a right to go forward than they did, even though this is his second time getting kicked off of here.
That is so surprising that a mediocre white man would feel like he is entitled to something above his castmates of color. Interesting there.
Yes. If only a team of 3 women and 1 man could deem him unfit for our society and shoo that mediocre man away, then maybe everything would be better off and we could have a,
Top
tasty
chef
fried bean dish
table
with some shrimp somewhere else and we'll be good.
Yeah. Top Chef Judges Table, saving humanity one Seeger at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. By the time we get to like 18,000 episodes, we'll really.
But I am really torn about my top 4, though. Like, I have a tie for number 1. If that's allowed.
No ties. We got 4 left. We're not. No way are we doing ties.
I don't want to pick between the ladies. I want Rhoda and Sherry to be tied for number 1, and then Lawrence, and then Bad Twin.
Well, right, but I'm going Rhoda number 1. Absolutely.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah,
where do
it's
you have
tougher.
Sherry?
My second one is tougher. I've had Sherry and Lawrence, both of them, up there in our seated area for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, even though she's come on real strong lately, he's been stronger throughout the season. I'm giving Lawrence number 2, Sherry 3, and then Garney Poo in at 4.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor, listeners, and go follow Rhoda on Instagram. She posted some thirst traps. Okay. She is out there in her bikini. Listen, she knows how to get eyeballs on Top Chef.
They're all doing it well. I love catching up with the stuff they've been doing since the show, all the little cool dinners they've been doing. And you're just getting to see them more fun rather than just like the weight of the world on their shoulders, getting thrown a new challenge every 2 seconds.
And nobody's mad at bikini pics, okay? Nobody's mad at thirst traps. Just get on the gram, get after it.
No.
So, but yeah, no, I'm standing by my tie. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, then no rules at all. How about that? That's also good.
What are you going to ask to see the rules if I have to go print one out and bring it to you, Seeger? Like, I swear, I just am too torn between the 2 women. I think it's really cool that there's 2 women in the top 4. I don't like so I might be dividing my sisterhood.
Lame. It's lame.
Yeah.
It's all we're going.
I don't know. Has your timeline and your FYP just been chock full of Summer House in the City stuff? Are you escaping it at all? Is there any way that you're escaping it in any way, shape, or form?
No, but I'm really not trying too hard to escape it. Like, if something from season 8 of Vanderpump, as I'm only in season 4, comes my way, I'm pretty good at noticing a glimpse of something and going like, that's not for me yet. That's not for me. The Summer House stuff, like, it seems pretty captivating and has for a few weeks now. So I have been into it.
Yeah.
Of course, I've got 2 great friends of mine hosting a wonderful podcast about it. And that is thoroughly entertaining. So and it's so deep. I mean, there's so many lines and stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's been.
So my timeline is chock full of so many just really smart, brilliant takes on the summer house of it all. Like there's a few accounts I follow. One is Tell the Bees. He is also a fellow academic. Prozac Barbie, Up and Adam. Like they are really talking about, there's this one, I really wish I could call her name, but she talks a lot about race and like critical race theory inside Summer House. And it is really smart. And so I am so immersed in between that and like I get a lot of politics too. I am just up to my eyeballs in conflict all day long on TikTok. Like it is assaulting to my senses.
Yeah. Conflict is everywhere. I mean, like, oh, I want to go see this show. Like, what ticket company is putting it on? What place is it? Who owns that place that it is? Conflict is everywhere.
Also, there is a theory circulating the interwebs about reality TV being like a really, really elegant solution for ADHD brain and a way to like bomb the senses to, because it's like little mini dopamine hits just, over and over and over and over again. And like the chaoticness of it and the way you are having to constantly parse through the interpersonal relationships and stuff. So there is science out there that says the smartest people we know watch reality TV. So that is a thing.
Now that last part seemed like a leap. Was that something?
No, I will find it. Hold on. Let me make myself a note. I will.
But it seems so enthralling, all the stuff that y'all are into. I can't even believe like the one reunion came and went like that. And everybody, I feel like they need to give it to everybody immediately.
I know,
right now. I can't.
The idea that they're dragging this shit out for like 3 weeks, it's going to be brutal. I don't know if Emily's going to make it. I'm going to have to so we're going to get some of Jax's stuff to keep Emilie up because she is fighting for her life. The clock hits 9:30 and she's like, oh my God, yawn, I got to go. So I may have to borrow some of Jax's incentive.
Yeah, please give it back when you're done. Only borrow it. Don't do anything like that. But you're swimming in reunions. We're about to get into our season 4.
And the episode 20 will drop next Tuesday. And then like next Friday, I believe, is when we're going to talk about reunions. So it's a lot. I did hear something today. I do not listen to Kristen Doute's podcast. Maybe I should, but I feel like because she's on the Valley, it's a lot. It leaps ahead. But you remember the scene where Tom Schwartz dumped the drink or the beer or whatever on Katie's head when they were in Mexico when she was blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently they had
season 2 Katie. Of course.
That was sort of the beginnings of Tequila Katie.
Yeah.
Apparently they had to reshoot that. That was a reenactment. It really happened, but the director of photography, the DP, was otherwise preoccupied when they were fighting and arguing. And I guess he was like, oh, this bullshit again. And so he turned to do something else. And then that's when it ensued. And so everybody was like, hold on a minute. You got to do it again. And so they apparently had to recreate it. That's what Kristen said on her podcast.
Well, I'm going to tell you, first I'm like, okay, yeah, staged stuff, reality. As someone who wasn't watching it 15 years ago, I'm like, why would I watch it? I know all this shit staged, and I hear that. But actually, now that I'm watching it, like, that's such a bigger dirtbag move of him to, like, does he notice somebody's not filming? And he was like, now's my time. And that's when he fucking did it. Because from what I'm watching here lately, that seems to go right along with the Tichois that I'm familiar with. Yeah.
Tichois. That's a new one in the rotation. I like it.
No, that's his, like, handle.
Well, I will say this too. I do not allow my students to call things fake or like, put on. We say it's well produced or it's overly produced. We don't. We don't.
I like how you're convincing yourself by instructing tomorrow's leaders at the same time.
I'm just using industry talk. Also, the idea of calling it a reality show is becoming a little more sort of like antiquated, and the industry is calling it unscripted drama.
Oh, yeah. That goes back to Tim and the gang, right?
Yeah. So, I don't allow them to say it's fake because everything is fake. I mean, what we're doing right here is, some shade of fake. Like, so we're all going to just toss that out and, sort of like acknowledge it for what it is. But
All right.
I also would like you to acknowledge the self-control it is taking me to not be watching The Valley, sir.
Yeah, I do appreciate it. I mean, there's so much I want to get into with it.
Yeah.
It's hard taking it 2 or 3 episodes a week. I mean, it's a lot. Yeah.
Brooke sometimes is vibrating to talk to me. She's like, I know you're not watching The Valley, but have you heard what's going on? Because it also has inundated my timeline with it. So I have a little bit of awareness, but because she's watching ahead.
It's
So
on in my living room right
yeah,
now.
it's really good. And I cannot wait because I don't know, we may be 60 years old by the time we get to The Valley, but those folks are closer to our age now. They're more sort of in line with the values that we're having and like, oh, my back hurts. Or like, oh, I got to get a sitter or like whatever. And so I think when we get there, it's going to
Also,
be fun.
real topics of conversation lately.
Yeah. I mean, like quite literally earlier today when we were talking. So that was that. I do have some more VPR related stuff for the hot guy
Okay.
section later. But I just wanted to
Okay.
drop that because that is still kind of really relevant to our moment. And I literally just made a TikTok about Tequila Katie because let me tell you, Amanda Batula could never. They want to talk about how Amanda Batula's just sitting there stone faced.
Yeah.
I just posted 6 pages of freaking rage texts from Katie
Yeah.
Maloney where she was like, pack your shit and get the fuck out of here. I'm so glad I'm not pregnant with your stupid baby.
That's
So
rough.
I'm just saying, Amanda is just sitting there real quiet. Katie
I
would never.
do Jeff has a question.
Okay.
This is a new part of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always
Uh,
evolving.
well,
Uh,
Sunday has a question that's been around for a while. Jeff has a
uh-huh.
question that's newer.
Yeah.
How many people are in Summer House? And is it really them all in a house like Big Brother style?
It absolutely is. And that is part of one of the layers of this, like this drama, right? Because they absolutely do. They leave the
And I'm
city.
sorry if that's a dumb
It's
question. I'm
definitely
just
not.
like,
It's definitely
'cause
not.
I keep hearing about new people. Like,
Right. And
I
so
feel like I'm,
Emilie and I were talking about this the other day too about I believe that Bravo has purchased this particular house because they have
sure.
converted the garage to like Video Village. And these folks really do pack up on Friday afternoons and drive down and they leave, Sunday night or Monday morning. And so they are actually living in there. And then for 2020, they didn't go back and forth. They just stayed.
Wait. So they're only together like 3 days a week?
Right. Yeah. And they start on July 4th and they go every weekend until Labor Day.
So this is a pretty sweet gig.
It is. But I just watched an interview with Kyle Cook, but he was talking about how it gets really grueling though, because you can't miss. So
I'm sure.
so no matter what your day gig is, which most of those, their only gig was in Summer House, but no matter
Yeah.
what it is, you have to get in the car. And he was saying that there's more parties because they have a themed party every week.
Yeah.
Right. And he says that there's way more parties filmed than what they show. And so if they get ahead, then they can like let them take a weekend off or whatever. And
Yeah. And then they let West go back to splitting atoms at MIT and then he can go back to the party
and
house.
there is a version of this that is Winter House, in which Tom Schwartz and I believe Sandoval were in a season of that. And that might be a fun crossover for us to watch one day when we're, just sitting around twiddling our thumbs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm waiting on that day. That'll be good.
But the
And
Winter
so
House.
in the city, is them in the city when they're not at Summer House?
No, in the city is kind of like what the Valley is to Vanderpump Rules. All of the grown folks go on to another one. So Amanda.
They used to be Summer House folks.
Yeah. Amanda
I got
and
you.
Kyle and Lindsay and Danielle and Andreas, which those are old folks. Like, so they've sort of aged out. They're married. They're having babies. I've aged out of going down the shore and partying, just sending it, as Kyle used to say, every weekend. So now we just followed them. So it's like in the city is to Summer House as the Valley is to Vanderpump Rules.
Vampire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, but I'm interested to see what the momentum of In the City is once the reunion stops airing. I was emailing with our Bravo lady today about trying to like get some screeners, but everything is so freaking locked down. Like they don't even want to say Summer House out loud via email.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what the momentum is going to look like there.
I love that. All right. Yeah. I'm interested in just learning through the lens of you and Emilie right now.
Well, Emilie too is brand new to sort of the
Yeah.
Bravo verse too. So she's her enthusiasm is very contagious. It's like seeing somebody like figure out that they love something that you've loved all along. It's really, really exciting.
Guilty right here, doing it actively.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know.
Well, in all your free time you have been away from this, do you have any good recs, any recommendations of stuff you've been getting your eyeballs on besides this?
And I will say this, TV is what I love, and we make time for the things that we love. So I have some non-podcast related shows. I've even watched, I think if I know what you're going to recommend, I've already watched that one, I think, too. So,
yes.
But mine, since we're doing true crime this week, is the HBO Max series Hollywood Demons.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're on season 2. Season 1 was kind of rough. Like I remember watching the first one, and it was about the dad from Seventh Heaven. Do you remember that show?
I remember it was a show. That's it. I never watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with me, I was probably too old to be watching this real like straight laced Christian show where like he was smoking cigarettes. And they wanted to send him to rehab. It was like that kind of straight laced shit. But it was your
age that you think would have gotten you from not watching this to begin with?
Like everyone was a very special episode, right? But the dad was a straight pedophile and abused a lot of women, young girls and women in and around his profession. And I think he wound up, if not doing some sort of sentence, but he was reprimanded. It really did come to light. It was really kind of a big deal, but he was real gross. And all inappropriate behavior is gross, but he was really insidious because he would groom them. But that's not the one I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Teen Mom one.
Yes, that's one I watched. Yeah,
and Saved by the Bell too. So if you haven't watched the Saved by the Bell one, go watch that because I want to talk about Lisa Turtle because it's a whole different world. But Teen Mom, this is my major beef with this because it has a handful of quote experts. There's this one woman, Janice Boyce or something, who is a pop culture expert. Which call me up, HBO. I could do that job. Like literally,
I know. We'll get you. You need to let's send some stuff.
She talks really, really articulately about it and like really, really smart. But they also have Dr. Drew Pinsky, and usually it's just superfluous, right? Like I'm like, okay, fine, Dr. Drew, which my other podcast, Little Miss Recap, calls him Mr. Drew because they won't even call him Doctor. But he was so active in the Teen Mom universe, so it's like we are asking the problem to analyze the problem. And it is so strange. Yeah. He's so puritanical. He is so judgy about it. And I don't know. What did you make of the Teen Mom one? Did you watch Teen Mom?
Well, we were fans of, this is one of the handful of reality shows like I've ever watched before recently. We watched from jump. Brooke and I watched Teen Mom, went on to watch, or 16 and Pregnant.
Yeah.
And then went on to watch Teen Mom. Like those first couple of years that they were on there, like we kept up with those girls hardcore for a while.
Yeah.
It wasn't too hard sometimes because they were popping up in the news. I mean,
looking at you, Janelle.
There are some real hard stories. There were people, you fell in love with. There were people you just felt for all around. There's a ton of just horrible situations and you were wanting it to work out so well for everyone, and this is kind of a newer, when I saw it, this was like introducing me to that whole reunion format. Like all of a sudden, because they weren't even together, these girls wouldn't even be together. And all of a sudden they would come on here, teenagers at MTV studios and, the big city from little towns, all around America. Like, my problem with you is this, and I don't know why you like, sometimes they would have sweet moments and sometimes they would just come at each other's throats. And it was wild, but
a lot of girl on girl crime in those reunions back then and Dr. Drew. And he facilitated it all. What really, there was a couple of really, really disturbing things that I learned about too, because I kind of gave it up probably once Ethan was born in 2009. So by the time that he got to be like a toddler or whatever, I probably was just like kind of, okay, fine. I can watch the trauma of a toddler in my living room. But these girls were saying that their situations were so destitute. They were so poor. They were so desperate that they were getting pregnant to go on the show, that would be like a ticket out of their situation, which wild. I had a lot of students write about it in those early years, talking about how discouraging it was for teen pregnancy. Like that was the birth control that they needed. And to hear that they were voluntarily getting pregnant, I was like, oh, girl, I bet you regret that shit now. Not that I regret having children. I obviously
was
love
going
my
to say,
children.
for a couple people that may be listening, she's got nothing but love for you. Let me say.
But I'm saying like that is a giant trade-off, right? Like a real temporary solution to a problem that is going to exponentially grow after you
and I
leave the
mean,
show.
Mr. Drew's problematic stuff wasn't just on this show. Like I've thought we were done with him, like as a society, like several times, and he'll just pop up. And this one, like it took me a minute because I do associate him with this show. You know, I mean, this is not the first show I knew him from. You know, I knew him 10 years before this show came on, but. And so it took me a minute. Then, like, I swear, like 5 minutes in, I'm like, I don't need this J6 defender, COVID denier guy telling me anything. I don't need to know I can host the show. Sunday, my pop culture professor over here can host the show and tell me about it. Like, I don't care. And that's not the only one he's on, though. Like, so when I watched
he's a
another
regular
one and he's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why is he on this one?
Also, I remember Amber and Gary being really, really upsetting to me. And even though I didn't have the experience or the emotional language, I clocked it then that, hey, something's going wrong here. And even because we have this real double standard about domestic violence against men, even with that stigma buried in, I was like, is Gary okay? Like, do we need to intervene? Because Amber really... It was like there was some domestic partner violence happening quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, it was playing right out there in front of us. But I remember even the reaction of myself having, like, pointing at the screen, being like, that's abuse right there. Like, it happens the other way. You know, sexes are flipped. There's no question. Like, there is, you know, it is weird that there's a stigma to it because it should go both ways, you know,
for sure.
But I remember like exclaiming, like, that's straight up abuse right there. You know, like he hits her. I'm not even, that word doesn't come out because no shit, you know, but it is weird.
And they kept asking her back and they kept platforming her and they kept, and she even went to jail. Like, right? Is that what like for years, kind of like 2 years.
Yeah. She had a whole lot, not just for that. She had a whole lot going on.
She was obviously troubled.
Yes.
My major connection to Dr. Drew is celebrity rehab.
Oh, yeah.
And then couples therapy, because I remember, what is the guy's name he played Kaniki in Grease? Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. I don't remember, but I remember him being real shaky and on the show and having some serious issues.
He was very, very afflicted by his disease of addiction. Like, it was, I mean, the fact that it felt like malpractice to have them and do this show and not be in some sort of like full time. I remember that. I think Corey Feldman was on there. I remember that. One of the dad rock guys from Creed or somebody who wound up, I think later, dying by suicide, I think. Dark-headed
the guy from Savage Garden. I think that was I
don't think
"You're My Butterfly, Sugar Baby."
No, I don't think that it was a little lesser known band. One of our dad rock Creed-esque, Creed adjacent bands. I'll look it up before. But anyway, and I think his disease was really overtaking him too. That was my thing with Drew. I think he did okay there, but
there was a lot. Drew. Well, I wasn't that. I didn't think he was. I thought he was just kind of weird back then, and I did think celebrity rehab was weird. Like how to balance those things is, it's strange. But yeah, I remember, you know, Loveline, kids ask your cool uncles about that one.
Yeah, Loveline
on MTV back in the day. And so that's 2 for 2 problematic host right there for you if you go back and look. But I didn't stick around till like seasons 3, 4, and 5, I don't think. But yeah, I got into some pretty dark stories there. You know, it's unfortunate. It's Hollywood Demon, so they are focusing on the dark stuff. But there was lots of beautiful stuff too that's on there. I mean, it was a struggle always, and that was the goal. But I didn't watch it. I was like, if this was the show every week, I wouldn't have watched this 50 times. Like you did have people that were mostly pretty good, and you got to see kids growing up. Like there was fun stuff there also.
Well, I mean, you get to see young men behaving very poorly, and now there's they've sort of like invigorated this particular concept with unexpected, and that's a whole different story. But there is a couple on that story where she is 15 and he's 13 and she's pregnant. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But if you're
interested, I wish I didn't know that much about it, to be honest with you.
Hollywood Demons. There's one about Jerry Springer. There's a Saved by the Bell one. There is one about former child stars, pipeline to pornography. There's several. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And like Nolan devours it immediately. The minute it drops, she's like, gobble, 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 gobble. So that's right up her alley.
Yeah, I get a little creeped out. I got to do it. If I have to watch more of that, I got to pace it out. I can't.
My God. Me and Nolan watched one, Should I Marry a Murderer?
Yeah, Brooke watched it.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole time, I was like, I don't know. Should she? I don't know. I'm conflicted.
I think the title said it all for me. I think that was it. It's one of those, like...
It's not as cut and dried as you seem, Jeff. But
I heard.
You had a recommendation too as well, yes?
Yeah, you said you had watched, even done a little writing about this one. This
shit is wild.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't have the actual... I forgot the actual
Many
whole
Lives
name
of Benjamin Kyle.
The Many Lives. I couldn't remember that first part. Thank you. The Many Lives of Benjamin Kyle. Yes.
The biggest crime here is how this man spelled his first name. Why do we need 2 A's in Benjamin?
I also thought that. Yeah. It does start in our home state right here.
Richmond
He
Hill.
does, luckily far on the other side, so we don't have anything lingering around here for it.
And
I'll post
a TikTok. I did a little TikTok for it earlier, and I'll post it later if you guys want to kind of go and, get the links to how to find it and stuff. I'll do that. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, please. A wild story starts. I mean, this guy is supposedly bloodied, been beat up outside of this random Burger King next to a dumpster, around early aughts, mid-aughts, like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And complete amnesia. Doesn't know who he is, where he is, what's been going on, has no idea about anything, and no one can do anything to help him. It's that weird, reminded me of like The Terminal, like that No Man's Land that Tom Hanks character was in. Like nobody can really help him, and he just like dug a hole for himself. He's like, this dude's like living outside the Burger King for a while. He doesn't have anything to get a job with.
He stayed in the hospital for a while, didn't he? Because he didn't have anywhere to go. And like the nurse, he claimed that he didn't remember one damn thing before 2004. Like he didn't remember his name, where he was from, his family, nothing, like a blank slate. And then they interviewed an expert that said that these kinds of cases of amnesia are like less than 1%. So he, I don't remember nothing. Who am I? Where am I? What is this? Earth? I don't know. Earth. I don't know her. Like he was really blank.
And they're trying to get the story out. Everybody's trying to help, local news and all that is trying to get it out. It eventually, like, there's an earlier documentary, like 10 years after this happens, with this kid from Florida State that's on film school makes one. Then they start figuring out his actual name, and some other stuff about him, like, and these distinct, now he's up to like 23 memories he's gathered.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Kyle, of course, not his name. BK were the initials they gave him. BK Doe, because he was found outside of the Burger King. So he just made up his name.
It does bear mentioning that the production company that picked up his story is Hot Snakes Media. And they are responsible for such gems like Breaking Amish, Amish Mafia, some TLC shows that they do. I looked it up because
the Natalia Grace.
That is right, the Natalia Grace, which was I had me in a chokehold.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I was very into that one.
Yeah,
and that one like sticks with me. And yeah, the dramatized version of that with Mark Duplass is excellent.
Okay,
but yeah. And I was very excited about it because it was those people. And then I get into the story, and the first half of it, it's 4-hour episodes.
That's a commitment. Like it could, and it didn't even really wind up. There wasn't even a real, like, I don't want to, no spoilers.
no spoilers, but it falls apart a little bit for me at the end. And I can kind of make an excuse why one or two of the people wouldn't want to be involved, because there was some personal stuff coming in from our, main person we're following here. But it really fizzled. It really fizzled.
Yeah.
I do recommend, it's something to check out. It is a wild story. Honestly, the first 2 hours are more compelling, Yes.
And I perceive that there will be a follow-up to this, because what was really interesting to me is that the production company that were making it became part of the story. So they were in front of the camera a lot. They interacted with the main cast guy. Their story got interwoven with the action of the show. And so that was really interesting to me. So it seems like there might be some more to be seen, right?
And not only that, they're handing police evidence, they're opening new stuff up. The police in a couple different communities have new stuff, and they're able to go investigate these long cold cases. And it's like, okay, well, if y'all don't want to be involved, great. But that guy seemed very enthusiastic about following up on these leads. Why don't we just see? Why don't we see what's that guy's doing his actual job?
Yeah. There's one scene where the female producer takes a cup out of the trash can, like in a goddamn SVU.
They're doing forensics.
And takes it to the lab and was like, here, I need you to have a rush on this. And that is why, the mix of fourth wall, or the transparency of the fourth wall, they kind of went back and forth, was really, really interesting to me. And because it started in Georgia, then it was in Florida, then it was in Indianapolis, then it was Colorado, and it kind of just went all over. And it turned out, the surprise twist did surprise me. I will say that. I did not see that coming.
Yeah. No, there were some surprises. Yeah. It's a trail through the heartland, just like Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant. It just goes all through.
A different kind of heart, though, I think, for sure.
Yeah. Worth checking out if you're into this kind of stuff, especially. But I will say it fizzles.
Yeah. Well, I have some follow-up questions. What was your immediate impression? I'm talking in the exposition, the first 10 or 15 minutes when we meet this guy, and we're still under the impression that he is this straightforward story. What did you make of him? What was your vibe?
I was sure the thing you would have to convince me otherwise was that he was just somebody with some mental illness, had been on his own for a while. And what he's telling the police, I don't remember who I am, I don't know all this, was true, but not amnesia related. It was somebody that had kind of written his own story in his head, or enveloped something, and he was living it how he had made it up. But this is just some guy.
He immediately gave me the creeps. He just the way he held his body, and how his shirts were sometimes they were misbuttoned, and he wore this dumb fucking flap hat. I was like, this something is not right. Should it have taken?
He gives some looks to the camera that are very scary.
And he makes jokes that are just but just the way. I felt uncomfortable with his presence in the screen. I can't imagine how the crew must have felt when he was having this weird countenance. I found him to be very strange.
I was surprised he was really even allowed to be free. From jump, I just thought he was very unwell in a few different ways, and he's into these, they go to science behavioral type places for him, and he gets analyzed. He just doesn't remember who he is. I'm like, well, that's one thing. He has amnesia, let's say, but aren't there some other things going on we need to look at? And I'm only laughing because I'm kind of nervous. It's a weird situation.
And he presents as this oh shucks, I just don't know who I am. I was filmed in the back
I didn't
of a
buy that. And that's what I didn't buy too. There was never any
and
falling for that.
Super smart. They had all this computer savvy, and he had all this. For a person to not have any sort of connection to the world, either he was this desperately lonely man, or he was this very savvy shyster that learned a lot. And what really started me to turn was whenever he moved in with the nurse who took care of him, and
you definitely know.
Yeah. It took her 4 years to evict him, which, okay, but should it have taken 4 episodes? I don't know. I think it could have been done in 2.5 maybe, but
I'll take the 4 if I get more of a story completion at the end. I'll watch the 4 hours, no problem.
I
I
had to
just
get
need
up
more
this
of
morning and rewatch the end because I thought that I had fallen asleep. I was like, well, surely that's not the end. Like, surely they were going to give me more. And no, I was like, oh, shit, I saw this.
I paused it and there were like 6 minutes left. And I was like, nah, you can't. This isn't going to be. And I think I looked it up again. I'm like, no, it says that's all there is. But
yeah. So.
Oh, so have you ever been on the dark web?
No. How are people getting on the dark web without getting on some kind of list?
Yes, you get one of those little things and you put it in your box.
I bet I could ask Ethan. I bet he would know. I bet he would know straight away. But
maybe you shouldn't.
No, right. Maybe I don't want to know. But no, I don't need the dark web. I have like word of mouth. I can just ask around. Like I don't need the dark web. Need to go.
Well, he needed different things in life than you did also.
Yeah. Well, I need some digital trail of my misdeeds and criminal activity. Like, come on.
Oh, speaking of misdeeds and criminal activity, I want to hear where some of your hot goss was headed.
Oh, so this is Vanderpump related, and politics related.
All right.
Our sweaty meatloaf, Jax Taylor, has endorsed Spencer Pratt for mayor of LA.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I don't know this, but I'm not surprised.
Are you familiar with Spencer Pratt?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably more familiar. I probably know more about him in the last 2 years than I did. Like, I remember The Hills coming on, and I never saw it. And like, I went to somebody's house to study or something one time, and it was on. She turned it off, and I was like, "Oh, that's that show people are talking about." Then like 10 years later, I see him on magazine covers still, and I'm like, "This guy's still a thing." And now, I'm so unsurprised he is running and doing this.
Yes. So he came back into the cultural awareness when the LA fires happened. Him and his wife, who is famously very reconstructed, she broke a record for having the amount of plastic surgeries or cosmetic procedures in one sitting. Like it was 35 in one sitting, something like that. But anyway, yeah. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
Is there a show on that?
Oh, and she was also in a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Go look that up.
Oh, they both were, I think.
Yeah.
I think they both were, yeah.
But their house, they lost everything in the fires. And so as a way to, I guess, help him and Heidi get back on his feet, he was on social media a lot. Like and he was really practical. He was very funny. He was also pimping her singing career because that's right. She has a singing career. Heidi Montag.
That's also funny.
And I think that he, much like a lot of our politicians today, mistook the love of the public or their interest in his idiocy as qualifications to be in a public office. And so he is out here. And I think that he is fairly conservative. And I think that he is running on some pretty right-leaning policies. And the Bravo world is really coming down. So Lisa Rinna is like, fuck you, fuck off. This is stupid. Mauricio, which is a Beverly Hills house husband, is like, yeah, no, shit, I'll vote for him. Fine, cool. And people are steadily coming either out for him or out against him. And we're in the twilight zone. But Jax is like, yeah, fuck it, I'll vote for him.
Yeah, I just looked at it. Jax is wanting him to clean up the city, which is hilarious because I saw the interview with Spencer Pratt not too long ago. He was claiming about that house fire that he was homeless. Yeah. He was like, I lived here in this trailer. That's the only thing I had. Meanwhile, he's living in a $1,000 a night hotel. Is where he was living after he lost everything.
Well, it may have been the GoFundMe that they started because they did, and they got a lot of money from that GoFundMe.
And he's going to take the homeless population and ship them to Seattle.
Yeah. So that, I mean, it tracks, right? Doesn't that just feel right on the money?
Yeah. It's not safe for Jax there now. He's got a...
yeah, I know. I mean, he's the menace is what is so ironic. It's the streets cleaned up from him. One more piece of trash bag stuff. So we covered the Mormon Wives reunion with Stassi I hated him.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was that reunion that all of this like sexual assault stuff came out about Marcello. I keep forgetting Marciano. I'm getting Mauricio. I'm getting mixed up. Marciano, where both.
From the villa.
Yes. So Demi had accused Marciano of sexually inappropriate behavior. Remember we had that whole conversation about how weird it was we were having to like, do we believe her? Whatever.
Right.
And then also too, there was some talk about how Jesse had some kind of affair with him. And then in the villa, like her husband went over there and everybody was like, no. There was nothing happening. Absolutely not. All of this was blown out of proportion. Nothing. Man, they hard launched their relationship on a red carpet this week. They are just out here looking like two plastic dolls walking down. It's like a Vanderpump Villa doll and the Mormon Wives doll just bouncing down the carpet. Like he is so shiny and stretched. It's crazy. But yeah, so all of that for fucking nothing, Jeff.
Yeah, she was so righteous about like, see, I told you, like, so somebody said they had the receipts and it comes out they didn't have it, and she just knew so well. Even though he had like some pretty intimate details of some stuff, she's totally denying it.
Yeah.
And now, just throws that in everybody's face.
And they made us suffer through this really awkward confrontation between Marciano and her husband on Vanderpump Villa. That was like, it's like one of the biggest moments. And no, y'all were fucking the whole time. Like, we are playing straight in our face. Jesse cannot, like, no. So we'll see. Vanderpump Villa is coming back, as is Mormon Wives. I think Mormon Wives will be back before. I don't think Mormon Wives ever stops filming. They just film round the clock all the time over and over.
I was going to say, I'm surprised it's been that long since it's been on.
Yeah,
really. I feel like it doesn't.
I'm thinking June. So I'm hoping that we get some clarification. I guess. I don't know. I might be over Mormon Wives. I quit watching it about 6 or 7 episodes in last season. It's more of the same. And I hope Mom Talk doesn't survive this.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
Or it can go back to where it was before the show. Like, just do the Mom Talk. Don't make the show about it. We're good.
Well, also, I think Taylor Frankie Paul's season of The Bachelorette is going to air in but only on Hulu. And so ABC's not going to air it. So only for subscribers. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's been some like debated facts about that, but we'll see. That was my hot Goss corner. But you have something. You have a hot piece of Goss.
What was that one?
Dateline the movie?
Oh, I had a little thing I wanted to break. Yeah, new thing. I was trying to think of. I was stuck in my reality stuff. We'll get rid of all of that.
This is reality adjacent because Dateline is reality.
My notebook for this is the wildest like I've ever. I can take a reunion show and it wouldn't look anything like this.
Y'all, Jeff and I are really workshopping this mega mini crossover as we sort of
no, we've got
the
it.
details.
We know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, so we're being very fluid about what we are and what we're doing, and it's all part of the fun.
Yeah, it's kind of between rec and just something I'm excited about coming up. There's a new A24 trailer that just dropped yesterday. Robert Pattinson. They're doing the whole To Catch a Predator thing. It looks very cool. You just watched it right before we did this.
Yeah, and I forgot the guy's name.
Chris Jansen.
Chris Jansen. I keep wanting to say Chris Harrison, and that is not Chris Harrison is Bachelor guy. So it's Chris Jansen. That's who Pattinson is playing. Yeah. Yes,
and I think that's a wonderful casting. You just see him as the character, and you hear him. You didn't get to see him walking around as him, and I'm excited to see that. And
it's giving I only watched vibes, though, right?
Well, that's just because you saw him as that like 2 years ago.
Maybe, but it's just like really, it's got some real like, oh, my parents died in an alley and now I must avenge the city.
If it does start out like that, that will be pretty heavy Batman vibes. Yeah. If they're listening to a very slow Nirvana song at the beginning of this, then yes, that will give it out a little bit.
Jeff be taking the air right out of my sarcasm. Like
I am just with more sarcasm. I'm building up the sarcasm bubble is all. I mean, that show, speaking of all this other stuff that it's based on, when it was first coming out, it was insane. And I don't just mean viewership and, juggernaut and all that stuff. Like, I remember talking about it in kitchens, like, have you seeing this? Like, am I seeing this right? You know, like, I mean, honestly, it's like none of us were talking about what came on NBC at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night or whatever, usually. And all of a sudden, it's like permeating through the culture, like some of these other reality shows we're talking about. And of course, and I mean, this is a great one because I don't know anything that every single person that, at least that I know, tuned into it wasn't, you know, they're 100% wanting one thing to happen, you know, like, yeah, fuck those dudes, fuck them up. I do not care. Put them away forever. Make them right in front of us. I don't care. So it's like, I'm with you, man. Whatever you're going to do to go about this, like, and it was so wild to see the luring and all that kind of stuff. So, watching that being portrayed would be something.
If a Dateline was being made about my life and I was the murdered, not the murderer. Okay.
Not the To Catch a Predator part of it that this is focusing on, though.
Oh, is it To Catch a Predator? I thought it was just like murder. To Catch a Predator.
This is focusing on the.
To Catch a Predator didn't come immediately through on the trailer that we watched.
Oh, okay. I think that's the main.
Well, I was going to say, if there was a Dateline, like, I don't know, somebody murdered me, which also, too, if I do get murdered, you make sure you tell them that my body temperature runs about 1.5 degrees lower so they can calculate body, like, death, right? But anyway, and they interviewed you. What would you say? Would you be like, yeah, she really lit up a room?
She really lit up a room. What do you think? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, everybody loved her.
I love in the shows when they say that before, you know, something tragic happened, you know, and it's not, I mean, like, oh, she was,
look,
if I can think of, when I think of the perfect couple, the people, and you're like, well, they're about to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Just like you know, in our Vanderpump, like when things are going so well and they're hugging each other, like, I just can't think of being better friends with 3 better people. You're like, y'all are going to be at each other's throats in about 16 seconds.
So look, there is a TikTok sound going around, and so you have my permission to say this about me.
She was just a mean, old, hateful bitch. She wasn't friendly. She really wasn't. And there are people in town, honey, that would have shot her for $5. She would chew your ass out for half.
So,
as your friend,
feel free.
I commit. As your friend, I commit.
Thank you so much.
I would have said at least $10, though, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't have said $5. I'm going to be real sweet about it. I'm going to say it took at least $10 for me to talk somebody into it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, but like all the nice things that people are going to say about you are going to be true. You really do. You really do light up a room. You know?
All right. What happened to get me in the trouble? That's what I want to know.
Also, if I'm the murderer in a Dateline special, the rote line, toe the line is like, it ain't murder if they deserved it. That's the defense we're going with right there.
Yeah.
It ain't murder if they deserved it.
Anyone in town would have killed her for $5. That's pretty good. I like that.
There you go. There you go. I don't know. I didn't say, but a lot of our fun humor topples over into our social media. So go follow us at YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Take a Pinot Pod. We have fun in there. And man, we had a lot of fun with the Summer House reunion. We played bingo and folks were just really actively engaged in this Summer House stuff. And then I have some Tequila Katie content that, listen, I couldn't help it. Like, Amanda's over here weeping with her hands in her lap, you know, and meanwhile, Katie's like, sure, throw that whore there. Fuck you. I'm judicious with my drinking. So.
Also, if Amanda had caught a backhand from one of those girls on OG Vanderpump, she's not coming back that episode. No.
These Summer House folks, they are too soft for this Vanderpump Rules world that we're in right now.
Absolutely. No. She gets clocked by a Dodie or a Schrader. Yeah, it's getting.
But so tomorrow morning, the penultimate episode of the season 4 of Vanderpump Rules drops. And so that is so much talk about a fucking engagement party. So tune in for that. And then next Tuesday will be the season finale, which is real good too.
I cannot wait. Season 4 is delivered time and time again. If you haven't been following along with us, please go back.
And we got another classic line from season 20 where Stassi says, this is where Stassi says, but thank goodness that I don't have, I have integrity and self-respect. But thank goodness Kristen is unburdened by such things. And that's a very famous moment. So that's where the episode from.
One of the few that I'd actually come across, and that would have been there. But there's another one I like even more than that. We'll get into it on the show.
Oh, okay. Great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you soon. Make sure you find us on all the pods, and our schedule is pinned everywhere. So find us then.
Thanks, everybody. It's Jeff at pinotpod.com for everything you need.
There you go.